My name is Andrew. Last name Wiggs. Get a good angle. Yeah, that's good. This is called first installment of Conversation with Wiggs. What's up? Shout out to everybody out there. Um, Tonight, I wanted to just talk a little to you, get behind the scenes, to get to know me a little bit better and vibe with me for a second. Um, Tonight I wanted to talk about Trayvon Martin. Yeah, because I know that's a really big thing going on right now, and I got some opinions about it, and maybe not everybody's gonna agree with them, but it is what it is, what I believe. So if you don't like it, then it's okay. But yeah, first I want to say it's a tragedy. It is a tragedy that a young man lost his life, and under no circumstances, especially under these, is that acceptable. And condolences go out to his family and his friends and everybody that was close to him. But I do want to speak about it briefly because I'm getting a sense. I'm seeing the rallies and I'm seeing everything that's going around Trayvon Martin, and it's getting this real Emmett Till kind of vibe to it, and it kind of upsets me a little bit because this has nothing. This is nothing on Emmett Till, and what upsets me is because the last thing America needs, is a race riot. Is the black to turn on white, to turn on Hispanic, to turn on Arabian, to turn on whatever breed you come from, whatever origin. I think that the stresses economically have a lot to do with what's going on, and the coverage doesn't help. It's nothing but a mere distraction. There are bigger issues at hand, and to be caught up in one incident, one occurrence, and not to see the bigger picture of what's really going on. It's a very slippery slope. It is. And my generation especially. And when I say my generation, I'm talking anybody between the ages of 12 to, I think we cut it off at around 30. Because we didn't grow up in an oppressed era. And no matter what we want to say, no matter what we want to think about it, we didn't grow up in an era where they were sticking dogs on each other, where they were hosing down people. And although we may feel like we went through it, we didn't. We've lived in a very privileged society. And of course there's cases where racism and everything plays a factor, but for the most part, a black man, a white man, Chinese man, an Arabian man, any man has the same opportunity as the next. And race plays a factor, but it doesn't play the factor. Your determination, your willpower, what you want out of life, that plays the factor. And what this does, it's just, unfortunately, it's just giving black people another reason to play the victim. And we need to stop playing the victim, because that only holds us down as a culture. And I want to specifically talk to my generation because we are so disconnected. It's funny because you see all these social networks, and you see all these Twitters and these Facebooks, and you see all this, and we couldn't be more disconnected from each other. You would think that we are close, but we're not close at all. We don't know our friends from our enemies, and most of the time, your enemies are standing right in front of you. And what's happening is the rest of the world is happening. There are important events going on. There's revolutions, there's genocide, there's war. And I'm just hoping, not even hoping, but just really focusing on my generation, because it's time for us to wake up. It's time for us to really see what's going on, to get out of the aesthetics of life. To stop worrying about what you're wearing, or you know what's hot right now, or all that. It doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter. There's wars out in the Middle East, and we, if I went up to one of my fellow peers and I asked them, what's your opinion, about the situation going on in the Middle East? What do you think is going to happen? As far as nuclear warfare, what do you think? They would look at me dumbfounded. They would look at me as if I don't know, but yo, you check this new snapback? Yo, this new snapback's tough. Thank you, it is tough. Appreciate it. But that's beside the point. It's true though. It's a whole bunch going on out here. Like I was telling you before, telling her before. Gas consumption is down 10%, and yet prices are still rising. Do you not understand that? Do you not know exactly why? Do you not know that many of the oil companies were in the red last year, and therefore they had to raise the prices because they had to get into the green? But you don't care. You just put gas in your car, and you're like, "Dang, gas is so much. I wonder why it's so much." Understand why gas is so much. Understand, why we are in the economic crisis that we're in. Take time out to try to figure out what's going on in the world around you that causes the world around you. And, I just feel like it's just time to wake up. It's just time to realize it. And, it is what it is. I think we're at like 7 minutes. But this is just the first part of the conversation with Wiggs. And, feel free to video response. Feel free to talk back. And, I would love to hear, everybody's opinion. And, it's just open to get the form out there. So, it is what it is. Appreciate you tuning in this month for the first episode. So, and even though I dog Twitter like a motherfucker just then, you can follow me at the real Wiggs. And they're kind of hypocritical. Well, I gotta get their attention somehow. But definitely keep tuning in. We got another episode coming up. Whenever I feel like talking about something. All right then. Much love. Deuces. Stay up, y'all.